Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of the Shredding Skeptic, where I just wanted to do a quick overview of some changes to my OBS format for recording certain games. So, first and foremost, let's jump right into our quadruple screen format. So there are going to be certain games which display only in a single screen format, so I thought it might be an interesting take to jump into them like this. So, as you probably noticed, there are some new camera angles that we're going to be experimenting with a little bit, including the Galaxy S3 in black and white that we're showing here, and over to our Galaxy S6 over here, and both of these are just running as IP webcams. And I guess as usual, our normal Logitech C920. So, we can jump into the game with a camera feed here, without a camera feed. Maybe a quick little zoom in on what's going on in there. So, yeah, let's take a look at where we're at with this war of mine right now. So, if you guys aren't familiar with this game, this is essentially a game that's well, a war game, but from the perspective of the civilians. So, there's not as much shooting, although there is a small component of that. Most of it really comes down to finding food and means of survival, usually including trade. So, as you can see here, we have a number of different weapons that we can build, and we also have a number of different items here. So essentially some of these are going to help you survive both physically as well as some more mental items which can keep things on the level. And when winter time comes, it is important to be able to find heat as well. So I'm not sure if Buddy's going to join us at 10 here. Looks like he's long past his due date. So we're just going to send everybody off for a quick nap here in order to have everybody good to go for the evening festivities. So, just going to end the day here and head off into the evening. So, as you can see, we can select different roles for everybody here. I'm going to have everybody just in a guarding role at the moment, and we're going to send Marco out to scavenge. So, send him out to the hotel, and sometimes it does help to go prepared. So, we're going to take a shovel with us, and a crowbar just in case we need to bust in anywhere. Marco does have a bit of surplus room there. So, while we're waiting for these load times to get through, let's talk a little bit more about the OBS format here. So, like we said, you can switch between the different formats by setting up hotkeys. Now, what I ended up doing was doing like a Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4, all the way through the keyboard, and then mapping those to the spare G keys that I have here on the side. So, if this is going to cooperate with us, let's bring the camera around and just switch it over here. So these are some of the G keys that come alongside the Corsair K95, and I couldn't really find much use for them up until the point where I had to start using stuff like this and have to switch scenes quickly and not want to have all sorts of clacky keys getting in the way. So let's dive back into our game, as it looks like our load screen has completed there. And we're off. So, what we gotta do here is essentially scavenge for as many supplies as we can find before the night is through. So, we're gonna grab everything we can. It's quite often you gotta make a quick exit from these places. Now, as you can see here, this little hideaway here, you can usually get in there if you get in some trouble, as long as you haven't been spotted. So, thankfully we have our shovel with us, so we're going to use it to get through some of this rubble, because it doesn't look like we're going to get through much of the good stuff, and you definitely want to bring a shovel around to some of these places on the first time around, just to go around cleaning up piles to render other areas accessible on a later night. So, let's see what we can find cleaning up these rubble piles. Okay. Rubber pile. Number 2. I am certainly glad I brought my shovel along for the ride this time. Okay. Well. What do we got in here? Alright, so it looks like we're largely getting a lot of generic materials at this point, so we're gonna see what we can find down here. Now, what you can end up doing is if you find stuff that's better later on, you can always go back and just drop the stuff that's of less value. You tend to want to grab the stuff that is harder to find, like these electronic parts are going to be much harder to come by later, but we're going to grab everything for now, just so that we have full pockets in case we need to make a clean getaway here. Is there anything left in here? Nope, that's just a door. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Okay, I think we got a means of breaking in here. Alright, so because we brought the crowbar with us, this is going to render us a little bit of bonus access in this way. Mind you, this might just be a... And there's a pile. Perfect. Alright, that was a waste of time. Alright, let's see what we got in this fridge here. Private property. Yeah, hard times. I'll tell you what. I'll leave some wood in your fridge. And take your meat and all your sugar cubes. But you know what? Here's some more wood. Just in case you get hungry. And... yeah, maybe some more wood. It's alright, there's all these 2x4s in your fridge now, but thanks for all the food. Harsh times. So, as we're getting up, doesn't look like there's anybody home. Let's see what we can steal. Harsh times. Oh, bandages are valuable. I'll tell you what, in exchange for bandages, how about some wood? Thanks for those bandages. Oh, we can actually go up this way. Excellent. Quick peek through there. Nobody home. Alright, now we are on a timer here, but there's only so much time we have to, whoa! That's a lot of stuff. Might as well just max out all those squares. See what we can find in here. Now, it doesn't look like there's anybody here, so this might be a good place to come back to later on without all these parts. But it's important to go around and bust into all these things that are going to need a crowbar, so I don't have to bring the crowbar next time. What do we got here? Ah, bullets. Excellent. Tell you what. How about some wood? Cigarette? No, those can be valuable. Not as valuable as some wood. There you go, buddy. People are gonna wonder who the hell this 2x4 bandit is. Why the hell he's just dropping lumber everywhere? Lumber bandit strikes again. Sorry, everybody. Broke all our locks, stole all our food. Oh shit! I don't know if that guy's armed or not, but I'm not sticking around to find out. I'm not gonna... Alright, that guy might have been non-threatening, but... whatever, what do I got in here? Yeah, I got tons of shit. Alright, I'm out of here. Alright, so that one's a good one to remember for another time. So, we contend with more load times as we wait for the game to get back up and running. Oh! Sometimes being a civilian in these war-torn areas can be dirty business. Now, the game has this thing where if you were to go, say, steal from this elderly couple, you can end up feeling super guilty and then people get really depressed and they don't tend to do much but stay in bed all day, and they can end up just leaving, apparently. So if you get things like alcohol and cigarettes, and that can help repair some of the more mentally damaging tasks you may have to engage in, including theft, murder, and all sorts of other unspeakables that you as a civilian may get caught up in the war zone. So what does it say here? So apparently someone tried to rob us, and the attackers were very aggressive, and we managed to fend them off. Oh, okay, so nobody was wounded and they didn't get shit. So I'm really hoping Buddy comes by today so that we can trade up for some wood. Apparently it's pretty accessible on the market these days. So anyway, as you can see, we now have a few more supplies, and Marco is very hungry, so we're going to give him one of those rations because they're filling, and he's going to grab one as well. He's going to grab one as well. So this is going to be a good time to fill up once everyone is in that sort of very hungry state. And there seems to be a big shortage of vegetables, so nobody's going to be making stew anytime soon. So you run over and grab that. Hungry, tired. Oh, okay, so these guys also have poor people on it. Cool to take their supplies, them or us. So he's sad about that. This guy's sad about it too. Marco did it for us. We should be thankful. And what does Roman say? What matters is that we have supplies. How we get them is of less concern. So yeah, as you can see, these guys are, they seem to be realizing that, you gotta do what you gotta do to get by. Nope. Very hungry. Alright, so this guy's still gotta grab one. Alright, so you go sleep. And you maybe go crank some tunes. Alright, so not a lot on the radio right now. So we're gonna get everyone passed out and ready for... Oh, here's Buddy. Maybe he can sell me some wood. Where is he? There he is. Alright, we're gonna get... Alright, so we're just gonna do a quick exchange on some goods here and try not to get stiffed. I know in the apocalypse these guys can rough, so let's see if we can find ourselves a good deal, shall we? Alright, what do we want? Well, we need lots of wood, because we don't like taking it from the field, and we like just leaving it places. So, what are we going to trade for all that wood? Well, how about... medicine. No, that's too generous. Bandages. Fine, we have a deal. Alright, all that for 1 bandages. Excellent. Alright, so let's grab more wood. Glad I stole all these bandages. Wood. Alright, so he's at his high point, so what we want to do is slowly take off until we have a deal. Perfect. Alright, so 1 bandages for lots of components. Now, provided we don't get injured, bandages probably aren't going to be super necessary, so I want to try to load up on as much stuff as we can while we're here. Consumables, filters, those are going to be good for moonshine and water creation and such. And no, we don't want moonshine. We'll make that later on. Alright, so we managed to get away pretty good on that deal. So, anyway, that's just a basic overview of this war of mine. I'm hoping you guys had a opportunity to see the way we can use different camera angles to create interesting and hopefully compelling game reviews while just doing everything completely on the fly. So, thanks for tuning in to today's episode of The Shredding Skeptic, and the new Gamersite episode will be up soon. It's going to be a bit more of a difficult one this week. I'm afraid the track is going to be hard, the car is going to be fast, and the topic in depth. So I really hope you guys stick around over on Alloy 7 for this week's episode of Gamersite a little later on, and please bear with me as we get everything put together. Anyway, Thanks again. We'll see you next time.